Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, produced by Marvel Productions, aired in 1981 and was considered to be a crossover series connected to the 1981 solo Spider-Man series. The show stars already established Marvel Comics characters Spider-Man and Iceman, and introduces an original character, Firestar. The trio become known as the Spider-Friends. The series was an attempt to replicate the success of the long-running Super Friends cartoon series. Marvel Comics maintained a high level of creative control over the series, with Stan Lee, co-creator of both Spider-Man and Iceman, heavily involved in the production, including providing his voice talents to occasional episodes as narrator. Peter Parker Spider-Man, Bobby Drake Iceman, and Angelica Jones Firestar are all college students at Empire State University by day, but by night they're a crime-fighting trio. Together, the superheroes battle various supervillains, including but not limited to Doctor Doom, Loki, the Red Skull, and the Green Goblin. The series also introduced new villains for our heroes to contend with, such as Video Man, Swarm, and Lightwave, who turns out to be Iceman's sister under mind control. Quite a few episodes of the series feature team-ups with other superheroes, which are some of my all-time favorite episodes. Which brings us to the topic of this video. Mad About Superheroes presents Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, Top 5 Guest Stars.
Spider Friends, go for it!
Number 5. The Incredible Hulk. The green-skinned Goliath appeared in the episode Spidey Goes Hollywood. With the use of a robot Hulk, Mysterio forces a movie director named Sam Blockbuster to con Spider-Man into starring in a Spider-Man movie. Mysterio distracts Iceman and Firestar with robot imposters of their movie star crushes. Coincidentally, Bruce Banner drifts into town and gets a job on the film production, and inevitably, Bruce hulks out. The Hulkbot proves to be no match for the real deal, and Old Green Jeans tears his robot doppelganger to pieces. Meanwhile, Spidey takes down the master illusionist Mysterio. The Spidey Goes Hollywood episode served as a backdoor pilot of sorts for the Incredible Hulk to spin off into his own cartoon series. Though the Incredible Hulk series only lasted one season, it had a long-lasting effect on me, and is still fondly remembered today. The Hulk's team up with the Spider-Friends is a real standout.
Spider Friends, go for it!
Number 4. Captain America. The Star-Spangled Avenger appeared in the episode Pawns of the Kingpin. The Kingpin and Dr. Faustius use a mind control device to force Captain America to steal a weapon called the Omni Blaster from a highly guarded military base. Iceman is so starstruck by his hero that he's manipulated by the brainwashed Cap into aiding him achieve his crimes. Spider-Man and Firestar are unfortunately forced to fight their partner Iceman. Eventually, Cap regains his self-control, and he teams up with the Spider-Friends to take down Faustius and the Kingpin.
Spider Friends, go for it!
Number 3. Sunfire. A romance heats up between Firestar and Sunfire, while his evil uncle Genju sends his robot samurai after the Spider-Friends. Things get confrontational between Iceman and Sunfire, but all is forgiven when Genju uses a giant fire monster to attack the city, and the Spider-Friends and Sunfire team up to stop the fiery menace. For some kids, this episode was probably their introduction to Sunfire. I had a bit of a leg up because I had a reprint of Giant Size X-Men #1, and that was my introduction to Sunfire. But other than that, Sunfire was pretty new to me as well. Though Sunfire joined Xavier's all-new, all-different team of X-Men on their first mission, he declined permanent membership. However, none of this is referenced in the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends Sunfire episode.
Spider Friends, go for it!
Number 2. The Mighty Thor. The God of Thunder appeared in the episode The Vengeance of Loki. Loki masquerades as his half-brother Thor and attacks New York City. Spider-Man, Firestar, and Thor are imprisoned by Loki. On Thor's majestic homeworld, Asgard, Iceman teams up with the ice giant Zerona. Together they battle the fire demon Surtur. In the end, Thor and the others are freed, and the true god of thunder puts an end to Loki's mad charade. In my opinion, with Thor's sibling rivalry with Loki and Asgard's colorful cast of characters, the Vengeance of Loki episode effectively displayed potential for a Thor spin-off series. A Thor cartoon series in the early 80s might have given He-Man and the Masters of the Universe a run for its money.
Spider friends, go for it!
Before we get to the number 1 spot, let's go over a few most honorable mentions. Daredevil. The man without fear appeared in the episode Attack of the Arachnid, in which Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil, appears as Spider-Man's lawyer when he's framed for crimes perpetrated by the villainous Zoltan. Unfortunately, Matt's alter ego, Daredevil, and the Spider-Friends do not team up in Attack of the Arachnid.
Spider friends, go for it!
Iron Man. The Armored Avenger appeared in the episode Origin of the Spider-Friends. After working together to defeat the Beetle and recovering the power booster he stole from Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, the trio decide to team up permanently as the Spider-Friends. Tony Stark hooks up our heroes with high-tech equipment after they rescue him from the deadly clutches of the Beetle. Don't get your hopes up if you're looking for Tony Stark to suit up as Iron Man, because the episode gives us only a few seconds as a tease.
Spider friends, go for it!
The Black Knight, in the episode Knights and Demons. The Spider-Friends team up with the Black Knight to battle the evil Mordred. Though I was reading comics at this time, I had little knowledge of the Black Knight character, but almost a decade later, in the early 90s, I began collecting a run of Avengers comics, which featured a very 90s version of the Black Knight. Instead of the cursed ebony blade, the Black Knight wields a lightsaber and sports a leather jacket over his knightly garb.
Spider friends, go for it!
Doctor Strange. The Sorcerer Supreme appeared in the episode 7 Little Superheroes. The Chameleon summons the Spider-Friends as well as Captain America, Doctor Strange, Namor the Submariner, and Shauna the Jungle Queen to a remote island to take them down one by one. As fun as the episode is, in my opinion, these are basically extended cameos, at best. The aforementioned heroes systematically get captured by the Chameleon and spend most of the episode subdued and out of the picture. They all have to be rescued by Spider-Man. It's cool to see characters like Namor and especially Doctor Strange in animation form, but unfortunately, they really don't do all that much in this episode.
Spider friends, go for it!
And now, without further ado, number 1, the X-Men. The Children of the Atom appeared in 3 episodes of the series, featuring 3 different team lineups. The X-Men Adventure, which featured Thunderbird, Nightcrawler, Colossus, and Kitty Pryde, to name a few. The Origin of Iceman, which featured the original X-Men in their uniform yellow and black costumes. And A Firestar is Born, which is my favorite of the 3, and the episode I've chosen for the top spot on this list. Iceman and Firestar attend an X-Men reunion featuring Cyclops, Angel, and their latest members, Storm and Wolverine. Firestar recalls her origins, dealing with a bully named Bonnie, and being recruited into the X-Men, where they fought Magneto and the Sentinels. Meanwhile, good old Webhead battles the Juggernaut. Eventually, Spidey and his much larger adversary crash the party as the Juggernaut intends to destroy his stepbrother, Professor X.
Juggernaut! We meet again, step brother.
Hold it, bullet head. You'll have to go through us first. Now it's my turn. I'm Spider friends, go for it!
Once again, in regards to potential spin-offs, Marvel Productions really tried their best to spin off an X-Men cartoon series in the 1980s. The X-Men were rising stars in the late 70s, and by the early 80s, they were Marvel's most popular comic series. The X-Men guest appearances on Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends were instrumental in finally getting a pilot off the ground in the late 1980s. Albeit Marvel Productions would have to use the budget for their 13th episode of their RoboCop cartoon series to produce the pilot Pride of the X-Men. Though the 1989 pilot wasn't picked up to a full series, it paved the way for the highly regarded 90s X-Men the Animated Series. Back in 1981, when Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends made his debut, Marvel's most well-known mainstream characters were Spider-Man and the Incredible Hulk. And the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends cartoon series and their many guest appearances were an attempt to get kids that didn't read the Marvel comics more familiar with their diverse Marvel universe. And I, for one, think the series was very successful in that endeavor. I hope you've enjoyed my list of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends top 5 guest stars. Thanks for letting your geek flag fly with Mad About Superheroes.